Beep boop. I don't know about you, but I love a good small town mystery. Anything involving supernatural things afoot, kids on an adventure, maybe throw in some retro 80s and 90s nostalgia. I love it. And given that it is both spooky season and Stranger Things Season 5 is coming out next month, I thought I would compile a list of games that evoke similar vibes as to Stranger Things. Some games on this list adhere more closely to Stranger Things themes than others, but all of them have at least one of the elements. Small town, mystery, supernatural, monsters, kids, psychic powers, you get the picture. These games are across the cozy spectrum, so to speak. So some of these are capital C cozy games, I think. Some of them just have cozy elements, and some of them maybe not so cozy. Everyone feels differently when it comes to games with like creepy or horror elements, so see what it feels like to you, but I think there's a game here for everyone. I will have the platforms listed along with the chapter titles with the title of each game down in the description. And with that, let's get into the list. But first, as a quick aside, I just wanted to shout out that there are some official Stranger Things games out. There is one that is a beat 'em up kind of fighting game, and there's also one that's more of an adventure style game. I think they're both mobile only now, I could be wrong, but yeah, feel free to check those out. That's an easy answer if you want your Stranger Things fix. The first game on this list I feel like really nails the Stranger Things vibes, except the vibes are more 60s than 80s. Bloomtown, A Different Story is a narrative JRPG mixing turn-based combat, monster taming, and social RPG set in a seemingly pleasant 1960s Americana world. Join Emily and her group of friends to save their cozy town from the demonic creatures that live in the hearts of its residents. This is honestly the first game that came to mind for me when I was thinking about this list. It's not a game I've played, though I really want to. If you like monster catching games like Pokemon, then this is a game you might want to check out. It has beautiful pixel art. I really just like how this game looks visually. Also, this game was made by the developers of Graveyard Keeper, and I know that is a huge hit among the cozy gamers, so if you're a fan of that game, you might like this one. Next, I want to talk about a game that I'm in the middle of playing right now. It's called Lost Records: Bloom and Rage. Embark on a new narrative journey by the creators of Life is Strange. Film your summer of 1995 and create memories of a lifetime with your new friends. 27 years later, confront the dark secrets that made you all promise to never speak again after that fateful summer. Now, this game is visually beautiful. I also love the character design in this game. You play as a teenage girl and you have your friend group, and you kind of learn more about your friend group as you go along, and you're kind of flashing forward and flashing back in time as well as you're unraveling the story. Now, I haven't played the story through yet. I am a big fan of the Life is Strange series in general. In fact, there are more games on this list that are by the same developer, Don't Nod, that we'll get to. But I will say something about this game's pacing isn't quite hitting for me, but that's just my impression. I do think it's a fantastic game though, and like fantastic for this list because you're literally like a group of teens. There's a supernatural kind of vibe to like things that are happening. I don't know exactly what's going on yet. I don't know if there actually are supernatural elements or if that's just like a tease, but definitely has that sense of atmosphere that's quite similar to Stranger Things. The music is gorgeous. There's also a picture taking mechanic where you're like recording, not taking pictures, but you're actually like recording video of things you and your friends get up to, and then if you record enough, you'll like unlock special kind of cutscenes with different characters, which I think is really fun. It's just like a great way to interact with the environment, and the environments are so detailed in this game. So if you like exploring, clicking around on objects, and like just really being rewarded for your curiosity, I feel like this game is for you. A quintessential shot that I think about when I think of Stranger Things is the kids on their bikes, and that is very much the vibe of the next game on this list, Knights and Bikes. Saddle up for a bike riding, frisbee throwing, goose petting, friendship building, treasure hunting, story-driven adventure for 1 or 2 players. Now, none of the games so far on this list have been too scary, but some of them have been a little more intense. I would say this game is the coziest so far on this list. I don't think anything actually eerie in any way happens. I have played through a huge chunk of this game. I didn't get to finish it, unfortunately, but I played it co-op with my sister and it was so much fun. So yeah, shout out if you want like a co-op experience to play through right now. This is the one. I really love the art and the music in this game. I think it's just a beautifully aesthetically pleasing kind of game, and it's also a shorter experience, which I think is nice. It's nice to just be able to finish something, you know. There are like some puzzles and I think there's some like combat, though I don't think it's that serious or difficult. You also get to customize your bikes in the game, which is very fun. Now for the first game on this list that I think is more on the potentially scary side, we have Urban Myth Dissolution Center. Join forces with the psychic director of the Urban Myth Dissolution Center and solve a variety of cases involving cursed relics, rental properties with shady histories, and dimensional anomalies. Monstrous oddities and otherworldly planes abound in this occult mystery adventure game. So I'm gonna sound like a broken record here, but I also love the art style of this game. I think the pixel art just looks really beautiful. This game is also more on the mystery kind of side because you actually play as a detective, I believe. If you're a fan of the Ace Attorney style detective games, then I think you might like this one. Next, we have a cult classic, Psychonauts. I'm going to be talking about Psychonauts 1 and 2 both, but here's a rundown of Psychonauts 1. A psychic odyssey through the minds of misfits, monsters, and madmen. This classic action-adventure platformer from acclaimed developers Double Fine Productions follows the story of a young psychic named Rasputin. In his quest to join the Psychonauts, an elite group of international psychic secret agents, he breaks into their secret training facility, Whispering Rock Psychic Summer Camp. But this is no average psychic summer camp. I have played a bit of the first Psychonauts, but not number 2. I think I just like lost the ability to play it for a while, like the machine I was playing it on. This was a long time ago, and that's the only reason why I didn't keep playing. I did think it was really fun, and I would love to get back to it one day. If you're someone who loves a platformer, like a 3D platforming game, this is your game. This game also has a lot of really just like silly fun writing, so if you're in the mood for something a little more silly and lighthearted, I think this is a great pick as well. There's just a lot of like wacky characters and really out of the box type environments in this game as well, which I think makes it just really fun to play through, just really creatively designed. Next up on the list is a game that I think is maybe the coziest out of the bunch, and I included this game because it's very heavy emphasis on the just being a kid going on kiddie adventures type of thing. In Little Gator Game, embark on an adorable adventure, discover new friends, and uncover everything the island has to offer. Climb, swim, glide, and slide your way into the hearts of the many different characters you meet on your travels. This is the perfect game if you want something short and sweet, and something that just reconnects you with your inner child. I don't think there's anything truly scary in this game, however, they are putting out a DLC early 2026 that's a little more emphasis on like cutesy spooky vibes. It's called In the Dark, I think. So yeah, keep an eye out for that if you're interested. Next, we have got to talk about Night in the Woods. Night in the Woods is an adventure game focused on exploration, story, and character, featuring dozens of characters to meet and lots to do across a lush, vibrant world. Now, I love this game. I played it a long time ago. I would love to replay it one day. I am always recommending this game to people. If you haven't played it yet, why haven't you? If you like a game that is more story-driven, there's no combat in this game, but there's a lot of dialogue. I felt like when I played the game that it was written really well, and I really enjoyed getting to know the cast of characters. They're all also cute little animals, which is fun, and the art style is really beautiful. And I feel like this game does a great job balancing kind of like being like humorous and silly, but also like dark and serious at times as well, and it really walks that line really well. This is also definitely one of my favorite games that comes to mind when I think of games with a good small town vibe. Okay, now we're coming to the part of the video where I'm gonna recommend a bunch of games by the same developer, Don't Nod, the same developer that made Lost Records, Bloom and Rage that I had earlier in this list. So I don't know, this is just a coincidence, but a lot of their games kind of just touch on themes that also are Stranger Things type themes. For example, just being a kid or a teenager or maybe young adult, figuring life out, so coming of age, as well as some like nostalgic vibes in some of the games, and dealing with kids with psychic powers, dealing with those powers but like in a very like realistic, grounded, kind of gritty way. First, I want to recommend to you my top recommendation out of all of their games, which is Life is Strange #1, which consists of multiple episodes. Life is Strange is an award-winning and critically acclaimed episodic adventure game that allows the player to rewind time and affect the past, present, and future. Follow the story of Max Caulfield, a photography senior who discovers she can rewind time while saving her best friend, Chloe Price. The pair soon find themselves investigating the mysterious disappearance of fellow student Rachel Amber, uncovering a dark side to life in Arcadia Bay. Now, this is one of my favorite games of all time, so I'll try to be normal about this, but seriously, a fantastic game. The first episode is free, so you can check out the demo on Steam for free to see if you even want to pay for the rest. This game, I will say, the only thing I can say against it is sometimes the writing for the teens can be a little bit clunky, like a little bit like adults definitely wrote this and tried to make it sound like teenagers. But other than that, like the plot and the character writing, the character arcs, absolutely incredible. This game definitely has some very intense moments, so definitely I would say more like the horror comes out both in, you know, their supernatural elements, but also just in like the grittiness of these real life situations these teen girls are going through. This is also not pertinent to the theme of this list, but I feel like Life is Strange 1 is one of my favorite games when I think of games that capture girlhood. But if you'd rather try something a little different, there's also Life is Strange 2. After a tragic incident, brothers Sean and Daniel Diaz run away from home. Fearing the police and dealing with Daniel's new telekinetic power, the boys head to Mexico. Each stop on their journey brings new friends and new challenges. This one I have not played. I do really want to play it, and this one also has free episode 1, so what do you have to lose? This next one also features family, but this one's about twins. Tell Me Why is the multi-award-winning episodic adventure game from Don't Nod, in which twins use their supernatural bond to discover the truth of their troubled past. One cool tidbit about this game, I have not played it, but I've heard people say that they have really liked the way they did trans representation in this game. And finally, one more game by Don't Nod. I promise this is the last one. Life is Strange True Colors. Alex Chen hides her curse, the psychic power of empathy, the ability to absorb the emotions of others. When her brother dies in a so-called accident, Alex must embrace her power to find the truth. So this one I played as well. I really loved this one too. It was close behind Life is Strange 1 as like a game that I love as well. This one I feel like really has like a good sense of like small town energy if you're looking for that, and like a mystery to solve. This game also features a tiny bit of romance. It's not like a huge feature of the game, but you can choose between 2 different characters, and yes, there's queer romance as well. Yay. And that concludes the Don't Nod section of this video. I am literally not sponsored by them. I'm just a fan / think those games just fit the Stranger Things themes really well. But next, let's move on to another game that is a classic and very beloved, Oxenfree, a supernatural thriller about a group of friends who unwittingly open a ghostly rift. You are Alex, and you've just brought your new stepbrother Jonas to an overnight island party gone horribly wrong. Now, I played this, I think, soon after it released, which I'm realizing is almost 10 years ago, and that is wild. Oh my god. But yeah, this is an excellent game. I do remember being quite creeped out by it. I mean, I played it by myself and like I remember being creeped out, but my tolerance for creepy things is pretty low, so your mileage may vary. And the art style is great. I love the voice acting in this game. The voice acting and just the writing for the dialogue I think is just excellently done. It feels really natural, and this is just an excellent game to play in this season. If you like anything like with creepy vibes, I think you should just play Oxenfree. And guess what? There's more. There is also Oxenfree 2, Lost Signals, that came out about 2 years ago. And it is set 5 years after the events of Oxenfree, where Riley returns to her hometown of Carmina to investigate mysterious radio signals. What she finds is more than she bargained for. So I haven't played number 2 yet. I really want to. In fact, I might play it soon. I'm waiting to play it with my partner because I like playing story games kind of like unofficially, like couch co-op, like you pass the controller back and forth kind of style. Does anyone else do that? Let me know. Next, we have another monster taming game on this list. This one I feel like is maybe the most loosely connected to Stranger Things, but I still feel like it fits because it has those retro vibes and it has monsters. So let's talk about Cassette Beasts. Collect awesome monsters to use during turn-based battles in this open-world RPG, now with online multiplayer mode. Combine any 2 monster forms using Cassette Beasts' fusion system to create unique and powerful new ones. This game also has beautiful pixel art, and I really like the music that I've heard from this game as well. I have had this on my to playlist for a long time, and I'm hoping to get to it soon. I've heard a lot of people say that they love this game, and they compare it with Pokemon and the other big monster taming type games, and they think this is a fantastic and stands out on its own. So yeah, I don't think there's anything about this game that is spooky per se, so if you're looking for a monster taming game on this list that does have some of that spookiness to it, even if it's in a more fun way, then I would say Bloomtown is what you should choose, which was first up on this list. But if you're just looking for something with great vibes and more just like retro energy, then Cassette Beasts might be fun for you too. Next, for you folks that are looking for more detective mystery games, there weren't enough on this list. Don't worry, here's another one. In Thimbleweed Park, a dead body is the least of your problems. Switch between 5 playable characters to uncover the surreal secrets of this strange town in a modern mystery adventure game from the creators of Monkey Island and Maniac Mansion. The deeper you go, the weirder it gets. So I haven't played any of the Monkey Island games. If you have, then this might be exciting to you. But it's a point and click adventure style game. It sounds like a lot of people love this game because of like the writing and the humor balanced with like the eerie vibes, as well as just the puzzles and the characters. So if you're in the mood for something like that, as well as a game that also features a rundown forgotten town, as they say in their description, then this might be for you. And for more small town shenanigans, but this time with a more storybooky kind of thing going on, we have Beacon Pines. Beacon Pines is a cute and creepy adventure set within a mysterious book. Sneak out late, make new friends, uncover hidden truths, and collect words that will change the course of fate. This is the game I've played, and I do highly recommend it. I think it's great for the spooky season, Halloween vibes. I really like just how cutesy the characters look, and I don't think this game is actually scary. Again, I'm saying this as someone who gets scared pretty easily. I did not find this scary. I think it was creepy at times because I didn't know what was gonna happen, but after having played the game, I would say I don't think it's scary. It just like makes you feel a little creeped out once in a while. This game also has a really unique puzzle mechanic. If I remember correctly, based on what you do in the game, you kind of collect a word, and those words will go in your word inventory, and then you can swap out the words on the storybook page to then change how things go, which I think is really fun, and I haven't really played a game quite like this before, so points for uniqueness. The next games on this list are actually for Nintendo Switch Online members. It might be hard to play them if you don't have Nintendo Switch Online because these are older games, but these are classics. Let's talk about EarthBound. When a meteorite hits the Earth near to Ness's house, the brave young man sets off to investigate. But little does he know that he's about to begin an epic adventure that will change his life. Oh, and he might just save the universe in the process. So this is a like classic pixel art RPG. It has a lot of humor in it, and You battle enemies, you solve puzzles, it has all these iconic characters. If you've played games like Super Smash Bros, you might recognize like Ness and Lucas. They are characters that are playable in Super Smash on the Switch. I have always wanted to try EarthBound. I've just heard people talk about it with so much love and reverence, and it is a game that I feel like a lot of devs reference even now and take inspiration from for newer games, which I think is awesome. So if you want to go play a classic, then this classic is here waiting for you for free if you have a Switch Online subscription. Next up, I feel like this is a game that commonly gets mentioned when we're talking about like the intersection of cozy and RPG games. Persona 4 Golden, a coming-of-age story that sets the protagonist and his friends on a journey kickstarted by a chain of serial murders. Inaba, a quiet town in rural Japan, sets the scene for budding adolescents in Persona 4 Golden. Explore meeting kindred spirits, feelings of belonging, and even confronting the darker sides of oneself. I've seen people write a lot about how much they love the characters in this game and the writing of this game and just everything about this game. And if you're not familiar with Persona games in general, what makes them interesting is that they have like combat and stuff, like you're fighting monsters, usually turn-based, though maybe not always, I'm not sure. But they also have these things called social links, so building relationships with the different characters is really important in the game and is usually a huge part of a Persona game. I haven't played this Persona game, but I have played many, many hours of Persona 5, though Lord knows if I will ever finish that game. But I can attest that the social mechanics are really top tier in these games. It's a big draw, so if that's something that draws you to games too, then you might like this one. Also, just aesthetically, Persona games usually just have a lot of style and pizzazz and like cool music and cool UI, so that's always fun. Next, this one might be a little bit of a stretch for the theme, but I wanted to talk about Deltarune. Dive into the parallel story to Undertale, fight or spare your way through action-packed battles as you explore a mysterious world alongside an endearing cast of new and familiar characters. Chapters 1 to 4 will be available on launch with more planned as free updates. Okay, so this game is, as it said there, like there's still more chapters to go, so the story is not complete, but this game is being released in chapters, so that's kind of intentional. I think a new chapter came out, or a few new chapters came out like earlier this year, perhaps. I could be wrong. I haven't played Deltarune, but I have played Undertale, and I love that game so much. And I was thinking about this game, I was thinking about Undertale at first and wondering if that fit this list, and I wasn't sure if it was too much of a stretch, but then I was reading more about it, and I did see some internet folks commenting and saying that they felt like there were some parallels between Deltarune and Stranger Things. So I was like, hey, maybe I'll include Deltarune on the list then and not Undertale. So yeah, I don't know the details and I don't want to get into spoiler territory, obviously, but apparently there are some thematic elements that would make this relevant. I mean, you're on an adventure, there's monsters, it fits, okay, it fits. And with that, the final game for this list, I think this is the least cozy game on this list. It's not cozy, actually. I think the only reason it could be cozy adjacent is that there isn't really any real combat. It's just like a lot of quick time events. So like however you feel about those things will dictate how cozy this can be. But I do think it's a great like cozy horror crossover if you like the idea of playing something scary, but that's also mostly just story based, so you don't have to like do too much, right? You just make decisions over and over and over again and potentially die. So I'm talking about Until Dawn. Until Dawn invites you to relive the nightmare and immerse yourself in a gripping slasher horror where every decision can make the difference between life and death. Now, that is the truth, y'all. I have played this game. I actually played it not that long ago, like within the last year. I played it with my partner. We like passed the controller back and forth. This game is fun to actually play that way because you have multiple characters in the game, so we just like assigned ourselves different characters and would switch controller based on which characters chapter or section it was. So highly recommend playing that way. I would have not been able to play this game by myself because I am too scared, but I do think it was really fun to play with someone else. Like it felt like very like campy, over the top horror. I enjoyed it. It just had like such a ridiculous amount of horror tropes in it that it was just really amusing to see what would happen next. So I feel like it's like fun horror, you know? Like it's not that serious. There is gore though. There is gore, and like there are like sudden jump scares. So please be aware of that. Like go into this prepared for that, and don't play this game if you're not down with that. And that's gonna be the end of this list. Thank you so much for watching. And if you want to see more curated game lists that have cozy games mixed in with RPG, narrative games, and more, feel free to subscribe. Please, in the comments, let me know what games you would add to this list. Also, let me know if you've played those Stranger Things games, because I want to know if they're like worth playing or not. I have been on a little bit of a hiatus with this channel, so if you're a subscriber, first of all, thank you so much for subscribing, and secondly, I'm back. And I am going to be posting more. I already have another video in the works to follow up on this one that's about a supernatural romance game, so stay tuned for that one. And I am also planning to stream soon, probably Palia to start with, maybe DDV, because I'm interested in the horse like DLC that's coming out soon. If you have any interest in that, just stay tuned. I will make some community posts or whatever with a schedule in mind very soon, but I'd like to start that in the next 2 weeks. And genuinely, if you stayed this long to like hear me ramble about this too, thank you so much. I hope you're having a great October, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.